to the Funnies on Facebook, a nostalgic look at the reading of the comics on television. Hello, my name is Richard Dick Leone, the former host of the Sunday Funnies on WSBN Channel 7 in Miami, Florida, where we read the comics from the Miami Herald to and with the children in the studios of WSBN Channel 7 in Miami. Now this show is the Funnies on Facebook, a nostalgic look at that kind of program where we're going to be reading the comics to and with you. Now we read the comics from the Miami Herald on our show. Today we'll be reading the comics from the Washington Post and the Go Comics and the Sarasota Herald Tribune. And I want to say before we start, I want to say welcome. This is our holiday show, our Christmas holiday show, plus our New Year's show. And it's a family special. I have my family with me, my associate producer, my son, James Leone, and my daughter, Diane Marie Leone Schmidt, and my grandson, Leon Schmidt, all with me, and all will be participating in today's production of the Funnies on Facebook. Now this format actually started by the mayor of New York on the radio, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia, where he read the comics from the newspaper to the children over the radio in New York. And Channel 7 picked up that format and had the Sunday Funnies. Now I was the host of that show all during the 1970s as a replacement host and the regular host from the 1980s until the show at the station changed its format. Okay, here we go. Now, we want to say hello to everyone watching. A special hello to everyone in the theater and show business who might be participating. Okay, here we go. Let's start off with our comics from the Funnies on Facebook. Now, the first one, I believe, is going to be from the pages of Go Comics, and this is BC by Mastriani and Hart. They're the cartoonists, okay? And they look like they're out hunting something. This is Oz and Thor. And Oz is saying,
"What are you doing, Clumsy?" "Sure, research. By studying them in the wild, we can better understand them." "Do you mean women?" "Got a better idea?"
So he's sneaking up on women. In other words, he's studying them like he would creatures in the wild. Well, I don't know. Some men think women are kind of wild. Some women think men are wild. So it's just a matter of opinion, okay? All right. Now that was BC from the pages of the Go Comics and the Washington Post. And let's see, now let's go on to the next one. This is the Funnies on Facebook, a nostalgic look at the reading of the comics on television. Okay, now this is Blondie. If you remember Blondie, this is by Chick Young and Gene Young. The son is doing it now. Now this is right after Christmas, and the little next door neighbor Dexter had a present, a fire engine, and he's going to Dagwood. Now Dagwood is the husband of Blondie, and little Dexter has his fire engine with him. He's gone to Dagwood, and he says,
"Check out my Christmas present, Mr. B."
Yeah, wow, your new toy. Yeah, but fire engine, I'm surprised. Usually you get some high-tech phone-operated toy.
No, wait, that wouldn't make sense. This one has it built in. Alexa, roll out.
So it is high-tech. Alexa is actually running it. Well, now that's it. So Dagwood wasn't disappointed there. It was high-tech, even though it looked like an old-fashioned fire engine. Well, from the pages of the Washington Post, that was Dagwood and Blondie. And we might say, oh, here we go with the next one. All right, continuing with a look at the nostalgic look at the reading of the comics on television. Now, this is from pages of the Miami Herald that we used to read. And this is Garfield by Jim Davis. Now, here's Garfield talking to Arlene, and he's saying,
"I'm very special to me, Arlene."
"And I'm very special to me, Garfield."
Well, I think that worked out real well. Okay, well that's good. So now we had Garfield from the pages of the I believe that was the Miami Herald, and that was my daughter Diane doing Arlene. Very, very alluring sounding voice there, Arlene. Diane. Okay, now let's go to the next one, and let's see what we have here. We're doing, in case you forgot, this is a reading of the comics, a nostalgic look at the reading of the comics from the newspapers on television, as we did them on Channel 7, and as Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia did it on the radio. Okay, here we go. Now let's go to the next one from the pages of Go Comics. Here is a favorite of a lot of people. Now, this cartoon strip had a Christmas special every year on CBS, and this is by Schultz, and this is Peanuts, Charlie Brown. Now, who do we have on top of the roof? Snoopy, and there's, now what's the name of the little bird? His friend?
Woodstock.
Woodstock, that's right. And Woodstock looks like he's running with his legs. He's not flying, he's running on Snoopy's nose and going downhill, down to Snoopy's toe. And Snoopy is just, I think he's a little perturbed, but he's not saying anything until now. And so Snoopy says,
Some joggers are a nuisance.
so it looked like Woodstock was jogging on Snoopy's body and face and all of that. Well, that's good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, here we go. Now, reminder from the pages of the Go Comics and Washington Post. This is a nostalgic look at the reading of the comics on television. Here we go with the next one. All right, let's see. Okay, Snoopy, go take a nap, and we'll see. All right, now this is Dennis the Menace. Now, we read this from the Miami Herald, and my son James read a beautiful part of Dennis, and it looks like Dennis is coming home with his mother from shopping, talking to Mr. Mitchell. And Dennis says,
Mom got a new credit card today, and she burned through the old one.
Looks like he's telling on his mother. She used up the credit card, and he burned through the old one and is using a new credit card. Well, I wonder how Mr. Mitchell feels about that. Okay. All right. Thank you, James, for that. We got that. Now, let's see. Okay, just a reminder, we want to wish everyone watching a very happy holiday season. I hope you had a nice Hanukkah, if you're of that persuasion, and a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a wonderful, Happy New Year coming up. I'm having a great one, too, with my family here. My daughter Diane, my son James, and my grandson Leon is visiting here from Santa Clara, and they're having a very good time, I think. I'm having a great time with them. Okay, now let's try one more and see what we have here. Okay, Dennis, go to your room. Okay, you are all finished with you. Okay, all right, now this is a favorite of a lot of people. This is Pickles by Brian Crane. Now that's Grandpa Opal. And there's his granddaughter, Arlene, I think is her name. And she's talking to Grandpa, and she says,
I'm thinking about getting a new hairstyle, Dad.
Yeah, well, how about that? So am I.
Oh, come on, Dad. Really?
Yeah, hey, I could grow an awesome ponytail.
Oh, okay, well that was Pickles. That was good. That was a good one. Okay. And my daughter Diane did a beautiful job with that. Okay, do we have any more, assistant producer? Is that it? Okay, so that's it. All right. Well, now that's been the Funnies on Facebook, a nostalgic look at the reading of the comics on television from the newspapers. Now, when we did it at Channel 7, we had children sitting with me with the newspapers in their hand, and they were reading the parts, just as my children and grandchildren are doing it with me today. And we had a very good time. So this is that kind of show. This is a tribute to that kind of show. And I want to say hello to my friends Peter and Veronica Fuchs, who gave me the idea of doing this show. And Peter is the conductor of the Broward Symphony. Peter and Veronica are Broadway, New York Broadway performers, veterans. Peter was a conductor of Broadway shows. Veronica was in Broadway shows. And they're good friends of mine. They're living in Aventura. And I want to say hello to a couple of young ladies in show business, Angelina Jolie and Mercedes Blanche, both film actresses who've been in touch with me. I've been talking to them. That's all I've been doing, just talking. But anyway, we want to thank everybody, all our friends and family, all the friends of all the Schmidt family, and everyone associated with us all through the years. And my best to the best of Broadway, the folks who put on excerpts of hit Broadway shows and movies here in Susanville, California, and I'm going to be a part of that show. Well, thank you so much for watching. This has been The Funnies on Facebook, a nostalgic look at the reading of the comics on television. And just a reminder, keep a smile in the bottom of your heart, keep smiling and a song there too, and keep reading the comics. I think they'll make you feel a lot better. See you next time for The Funnies on Facebook.